My two blue beauties. Not Heather. Heather's not blue. I love that car. I know that some people say, oh, it's just a Golf. It's just a Golf. It's no big deal. But guys, it's an amazing car. So see how this here, see this gap? That's because this won't stay out because of this part here is loose. I also found that these both are loose. There's a couple of bolts inside that were loose too. The ABS bolts were loose. I had to tighten this up a little bit with my hand, but there's just a little bit of hand tightening to do. But no, other than that, it's riding great right now. I really need to like get the gimbal into a proper. Beautiful. A little farty, a little fart there. Okay, well, this is our walk around of the K75RT. Looks a little bit different. You guys know the story already, so I'm gonna go through the changes that we made to it. There's tons of videos. Check this playlist. You can see what the videos were, focused on in the past, and kind of see how we got here. But basically, yeah, this is how she looks today. And so I'm gonna go through some of the changes the team made to this bike, so you can get an idea of what's new and different. So first thing you'll notice is this headlight. This is the Denali M7. I'll do a review video tonight. Actually, I'll go out riding with it. You can see it, but it has a halo function. So it has a halo function there, and then of course has a high beam and low beam. Separate options, which is nice. A lot of the cheaper models will just cheat by faking the intensity, well, increasing the voltage, but this is obviously unique. Oh, and we also have these turn signals. So we have these on the front and the rear. I would like to move them down a little bit to here maybe, but really, honestly, New Hampshire doesn't require turn signals or a horn or a headlight, so yeah, it's not a big deal. But what I've been doing is what I do on my dirt bike. It's just a habit of mine. When I'm not on the GS, I indicate with my arms, and it gets the job done. So yeah, and then we also have this unit garage windscreen. You can see how it's mounted up here. There's a bolt in the bottom, of course, and there's a couple of bolts here on the rear. That's how that goes in there. The M7 here doesn't need to be that deep, but what they're doing is they've mirrored it to be the exact same size as all the DOT halogen bulbs from cruisers. So they made it deeper that way, but it's not really necessary. So I want to show you guys this moto gadget. So to this, I'm not blinding my neighbors. So this is it's either designed or made in Germany, but hopefully the refresh rate isn't so weird. So it's like, I think it's 1100 LED lights that make up this array. You've got a button right down here, and so this is your speed, odometer, RPM. I've need to configure that to be I think maximum this bike revs to is like 7,000, so I need to configure that. You can have a trip counter, so I did 95 miles today. Well, since fuel, I got 95 miles. Odometer, current time should be right. No, it's not. Voltage from the battery, that's pretty good. That's where it should be. Acceleration, speed, is average speed. Its highest speed is 57. RPM, you can do a 0 to 100 kilometers counter. That's top speed. Top RPM, 7120. Let's see if here. Fuel, does this work? No, fuel does not work. We've got the gauge over here, which I prefer anyway. Life. Oh, this is the runtime of the Moto Gadget. Yeah, so that's all your options. Refresh is really fast, in my opinion. I've got to figure out how to actually configure it, but you'll see how svelte it is. It's very, very thin. Mounts up to the upper triple tree. There's a little, oops, there's a little band right there that mounts up to the triple tree right there. Really thin. It's hooked up to everything except for, well, it's two things. The gear indicator doesn't work and the fuel doesn't work. Fuel's no problem. I like my gauge. It's a floater, so it just is a readout here. And it does move. If you're going on a hill, it will move up. If you're going up a hill, it moves down. It's kind of funny. This is a 5.5 gallon tank. So basically the rule is stop every 200 miles and you're fine. The gear indicator, it's just the way the bike is done. It doesn't work. So that's how it is. Heated grip still work. ABS button still works. Flasher still works. This does not work because that is the RT windscreen. So I might replace this to be a kill switch for the powerlet, so I can keep my phone hooked up to in the Honda Garage Perfect Squeeze, and then use this as a kill switch to kill the power to the powerlet. Maybe I'll look into that. But I also have an SAE over here that's direct to the battery, but that's for charging. So other changes, of course, unit garage thing. We've got these fatty grips, which I like a lot. They know I have big hands, so they gave me these big grips. These integrated mirrors. I got to move this out a little bit, but those are the mirrors right there. Pretty cool. And they move this way, or they move this way, but you got to loosen up the Allens to get those in there. Seat. This is the stock pan with the stock foam, but they added additional foam on top and then changed the cover. The cover is not leather, it is vinyl. I'm not super stoked with the craftsmanship. You've got a kind of weird divot here in the foam. You've got some tearing here in this seam, and when you sit on it, this comes up off the back. He said that eventually the vinyl would loosen up and this would sag down to neutral again, but either way, I asked them for a taller seat because I wanted to be able to flat foot but not have my knees bent, and that's what I achieved. Perfect height. They measured my inseam. Great job. We have powder coated, this engine cover here. The last thing it's going to do is I'm going to pay someone to do a silver paint to here and the BMW. I'm not going to do that myself, but that's going to be done. We also moved the coolant hose, the RT hose that was coming and outside, to the C position, which is inside of here. Go into this little hole here. The RTs do not, because of the way the fairing is designed. So we were able to make that work, which looks a lot nicer on the curb. You'll notice that we have brand new rear shock. This is a cheap shock, but it is one that Beaver Shop recommended, so I'm okay with it. We also have new front springs and oil. You'll see the same LED blinkers are back here. And we have our LED brake light, LED bulb in there, and then hip was not taken. So we have hip. The powder coating extends more into, you can see here, we have black wheels now. They were silver before. And we have a gloss black exhaust heat shield right there, and then a black muffler or silencer right there. Pretty cool, huh? We've removed the luggage rack back here and put these little fillers, so I could reverse that if I wanted to. The storage still exists under here, which is nice. We still have the pillion seat here, and we still have pillion pegs here, which still work. Is this loose as well? No, it's not loose. Good. The only problem that I've had so far, well, two problems since I picked it up, before I get to the radiator in a second. It is a high temp powder coat on the headers. It's already failing. So I'm going to get something for a refund on that. And I'll take it to another shop and see if they can help me out. Sucks, but, you know, I'm not actually, this isn't a new issue for me. It looks like the actual engine cover work is holding up. So they also powder coated this here. Doesn't that look good? Look even better if the headers were also black. Oh well, bummer. But you can see the powder coating is only on the actual head piece here. The engine is the stock color. They did a really nice job matching that, didn't they? So as alluded to in another video, the RT radiator is bigger, so you can't put a K75C cowl on an RT radiator. So when they bought the K75C cowl, which if they hadn't done that, if they had stuck with the RT cowl, it would have had this big gap here under the fuel tank. You'll see that in some of the online Cafe Racer builds. You'll see they have a huge gap here because the RT tank is huge. It's an extra gallon. But it's the same tank as the K100 RS, I think, or K100 RT. But the cowl is redesigned for that big swooping fairing that covers the BMW logo. So they had to buy a used K75C radiator. If you buy a new K75C radiator, it's like $1,000. So just because they don't make them anymore. Only other issue I had was that the bolts that were holding the headlight in and this in were loose. I've just Loctited them. I think they actually were tight when I left. They just vibrated free. Obviously, we have the powder coating on the front wheels as well, which looks great. And actually, believe it or not, this cowl came to them as a separate color, and they painted it to match the tank. So, pretty good job, huh? I actually would like to hold the whole bike. That's why there's no scratches on it. I'd actually like to have the whole bike repainted. You can see the difference in the age of the original paint with the this looks much nicer. I want to have the whole bike painted this color at some point. They did some adjustments to the levers and the ergonomics of the bar to make it a little bit taller and more back, which is what I would have done anyway, the risers. So they did a nice job there. There's another view of those mirrors. I did ask them to maintain the luggage boxes and ABS and the seat comfort. So that required basically keeping all this involved, which is fine. I kind of like having luggage, be able to put things in there. It's nice to be able to store things on your bike. I would say that the it's kind of a mess now. All the cables in here are kind of a mess. So I've started kind of bunching them up and zip tying them. Just a small gripe. It's not really their fault. It's just so much that's in there. It just needs to be managed. I'll do like kind of small, finer stuff over time. That's pretty much it. And it doesn't seem like much, right? For $4,700. But remember, $1,000 of that went to do powder coating. $300 or $400 for the seat work, and about $2,000 in parts. Primarily the radiator, hoses, front cowl, Moto Gadget, which is $500, Denali, which is $400. This was like $120, I think, and then various other apparatuses all kind of added up to be a $4,700 bill. JVB on Adventure Rider commented that, congratulations, you built yourself, he didn't say this, but you built yourself an $8,700 K75C. And he's right. But the thing is, this K75C has all the stuff I listed off, like brand new suspension. The engine was fully rebuilt, not taken apart, but like every bit of maintenance was done to it, from ignition, air, final drive, fluids, clutch, full braking system, the LED headlights, the Moto Gadget. All that work combined makes this not just a K75C, but a K75. I should rename my build thread from K75RT Felicity to the K75RT to the C to the LED. That's my name for it. RT to the C to the LED. Last thing I got to do is put these. I might get a little cover for this and then put these bottom ones in there, and then finally I'm going to clean this up, and I've got a K75 and a BMW Roundel to put back here. I bought those on eBay, and I need to wax this first, then I'll apply those badges. It's getting dark, so I'm going to go and prepare to go for a night ride. Thanks for watching. I'm obviously super bummed about the headers, but isn't she a beauty? Just a gorgeous, gorgeous bike. This won't be the last video about it, of course. Thanks for watching, everyone, and be safe.